Let's get it. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Let me give my thoughts, man. Let me get into this major news. Recording this February, I believe, 5th? Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. The major breaking news is obviously, in the sports world at least, the world that I heavily associate myself with. Not the only world. I do speak on other things from time to time, but sports is usually where I get my leverage to teach my clients how to be better bosses, how to be better owners, how to use innovative teamwork to achieve the result that you should be wanting to achieve. Again, I say should be wanting to achieve because a lot of you guys may be thinking that the result is something, or a result is something that it actually isn't. So we'll discuss that. If you're interested in more of that, again, just tap in with me. Make sure you hit the Patreon link. Hit the Patreon link or hit makeyourmove.com. All right. Well, more on that later. Let me get into the news. I got into my delivery there because it has developed in so many ways, man. If you go back to my beginning videos to listen to my delivery now and how it comes out in less than a minute, it's absolutely wonderful, and what actual paying for coaching can do. Anyway, the major news this week is Luka Dončić being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. And my initial thoughts on this, seeing that, this time of year when it comes to the NBA basketball, it's nothing but a bunch of drama. The actual playing on the court, so much of it, the reason, in my opinion, so much of the ratings and so much of the fanfare, the game in general, the league in general, is just going down the tube in terms of viewership, in terms of just actual loyalty from a fan base, is a lot like what we're talking about now, because we're not talking about anything that's actually happening on the court, and we're not talking about actual how playing a certain position, what a team is playing like, what they're looking like. Everything is a bunch of damn soap opera nonsense that has really, again, it really just creates drama around the game, and that's what's selling the viewership now. That's what's selling the game. That's what's putting the game in front of new viewers, which is, again, why at this time of year I really don't watch much of it. I more so look forward to March Madness and the college game, and even that is getting a little, it's not getting a little, but it's becoming pro sports as it is. But as far as the trade is concerned, I do believe that they both got what it is they needed. All right, I'll say it just like that. They both got what it is they needed. If you think back to a couple years ago, understand Anthony Davis was a great pick, but they gave up a whole lot. They gave up a whole lot to get Anthony Davis when Magic Johnson had sold his stake and didn't want to be a part of the ownership group anymore. And they had moved on from, I believe, Luke Walton, and then they brought in the other coach that they brought in. His name is escaping me right now, but he won a championship with Anthony Davis. That was the year of the bubble, and they gave up a whole lot. They gave up a ton. They gave up a ton to get him, and then you consider, that Frank Vogel, that was his name. Yeah, Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel got fired after winning a championship, and then you bring in Darvin Ham, and then Darvin Ham gets fired, so he gets replaced. And at some point, you gotta stop blaming the coaches and start looking at it and say, look, this roster and what we gave up to get this guy Anthony Davis, it's just not working out in our favor. So I think the Lakers got what they needed. Now, if you're a Laker fan, I would not expect at all a championship. Do not expect a championship, which is the standard, the Lakers standard, right? Do not expect a championship at all within the next 3 or 4 years, because guards come a dime a dozen. The guy that they got is a guard, and you got to build around this guard. You got to build the inside. And as LeBron is kind of on his way out of the league, you're going to have to build around Luka, and that's going to be the challenge, because nowadays basketball is positionless. As you see, Anthony Davis is a true 4, but they had to put him at the 5, and he could also be that guy that steps back, hit the 17-footer. He could also be that guy too that can hit the 3 ball if he needs. So I remember actually in that year they won the championship in the bubble. Remember, Anthony Davis hit the 3. He hit a 3 to win one of those games, one of those huge games. I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, the game was against Dallas, where AD, again, a true power forward that's playing center, he steps back, hits a 3 to win the actual game, right? So again, he's one of those big men that's positionless and can hit that outside shot, can also threaten you underneath. So Dallas actually got what they needed right now, all right? And this notion that, them giving up Luka was a big deal. I strongly disagree with that, because Kyrie Irving showed he can be that guard. Kyrie Irving showed he can be that guy in the front court that's dishing and making sure certain guys and facilitate, making sure the ball's getting inside. And with AD now, you're able to spread the floor and do a whole lot more things on the defensive end as well. All right, so understand that, and in my opinion, and just to give my thoughts to close you out, my thoughts is when it comes to teamwork and how you kind of take this in as a business owner, you can't get caught up in the flashy lights. You can't get caught up in media hype, because that's what, again, the Luka trade, the reason it was such a big deal is because Luka is an international star. Luka is someone that is just a big star, a big attraction to the fans, a big attraction to a large group of audiences. However, when you're talking about the game of basketball, Dallas didn't need another guard, right? Because they have an all-star type guard in Kyrie. What they needed was guys down low, big men, guys that can do position, that can play every position and can do a lot of the things that AD's doing. So that's just pretty much what it is. And in business, these are the things that you have to think about when you're putting your staff together, when you're putting your team together, when you're putting your employees together, when you're putting all these things together. You have to think about what's the need going to be, and not necessarily what's going to be an attraction to the outside world per se. All right, or you have to make sure that it's a solid balance between the two, which is what this trade actually displayed. It displayed a solid balance between, what's going to be an attraction versus what's going to be needed on the court. All right, so those are my thoughts on that. All that being said, like I mentioned before, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's makeyourmove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.